to translate the self-organizing learning system to adults?
It's a difficult, it's not a thing that I've studied in a lot of detail. What I find is that, you remember that little bit I was telling you about the two positives versus the two negatives? It's the two negatives which hold the adults back.
Okay.
So the first reaction of an adult audience is, how can I learn on my own, and why should I learn on my own when I've paid?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must stand there and you must teach.
Yeah.
If you can get it away from them, so preparing the adult for that kind of learning is very important. If you can do that, then there is almost no topic that they can't tackle on their own.
Yeah.
When I say on their own, not alone, but in the groups. The other problem that adults have is to do with ego.
Yeah.
Even in a group of four, the four adults will remain quiet and not open their mouths, because if you ask them, they'll say, I might make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
Children are not worried about that.
Okay.
And so typically that's the big difference. Adolescents work fine.
Yeah.
So 16, 18, even 20s is still all right. As soon as you go over the 30s, then you have this problem, and you'll have to do a little bit of experimenting to see how to make it work.
I'm going to do that. And you've inspired me. I'm going to put a computer down for my 2-year-old and see what he does.
and remember, in a place where it's highly visible.
Yes, in my living room.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll send you the result. Thank you very much.
All right, terrific.
What's your opinion about the OLPC, the one?
OLPC? Well, I know Negroponte very well, actually. Okay. Actually, Professor Negroponte and I have been in communication for many years, because he's interested in hole in the wall, I'm interested in OLPC. But the argument that I have with him is that I tell him it is 4 times more expensive than he says.
Yes.
It should be 1 computer for every 4 children. So it's actually $25 a head rather than $100. But other than that, the machine itself is fine. My worry is whether it is acclimatized enough for the environment in which it has to go. And I know that because I know what kind of problems I've had in the field. So it seems a little delicate to me. So it's only through experience. And the other thing which I think ought to have been done is that its effect on the children has not been measured. You know, and I somehow don't like to do anything with children without first measuring very carefully what will happen.
It's very important. We have sent a laptop to Nicaragua, Yinoteca, and the first thing they said, we have to do the experiment with the teachers. And I should do it otherwise, hearing your story, give it to the children and let's do it.
Absolutely. That's what, you know, and if you tell them the basic precautions, the other thing that people get worried about is that, oh, the laptop is expensive, it will break. So that's why the head teacher will always say, no, don't give it to the children. What I've found is that adults will break it much faster than children will.
Absolutely.
You have to just tell the children to be careful, that's all. And again, in a nice way. If you tell them, look, this is very expensive, you look after it. If it breaks, I can't replace it. I don't have money.
Can I ask you another question? Yesterday we had Professor Paul Kirchner here at the National E-Learning Conference, and he strongly opposed against unstructured learning because he says you can't learn without guidance. What is your opinion on that?
Well, often my work gets translated to that we don't need teachers. That's not exactly what I'm saying. If you have a good teacher, clearly you get structured learning happening over a very quick period of time. However, the problem is that you cannot always have good teachers. And indeed, in most places, most times, you do not have a good teacher. So I'll counter that argument with a quotation from Arthur C. Clarke, whom I met in 2002, who said, "A teacher that can be replaced by a machine should be."